Let's turn now to the fight against ISIS, which right now may be a losing one for Kurdish forces on the ground in northern Syria. We're getting new reports that ISIS fighters, many armed with American weapons, as you well know, like our tanks and everything left behind inside Iraq they now have, they've now pushed to the very edge of the northern city, Kobani. And it may be part of a new strategy to evade U.S.-led coalition airstrikes. That city for safety. One Kurdish official reportedly says U.S.-led airstrikes won't be enough to stop ISIS's march there. And officials in Syria are warning, if ISIS captures that town, terrible atrocities will be committed for the reason I just gave you, all those refugees that went there. Greg Palcott has the latest from Turkey, Syria, the border. Greg?
Harris, an official in that besieged Syrian town, is warning tonight of a large-scale massacre if the ISIS terrorists make it inside that town. That is looking more and more likely. Take a look at what we saw near the front line earlier today. This is the closest that we have seen and heard to a sustained battle here in the town of Kobani, just across the border from where we are in Syria. You can see smoke coming up from impacts on the Tower Hill there, and over to the left, this is the eastern side of the city, and we've seen a lot of firing there. ISIS tanks, ISIS mortars shooting in, and we're hearing small arms fire coming from the Kurdish defenders of the city. Again, one struck a house, injuring 5 people. Following that, Turkish authorities evacuated 3 villages near the border. Now, we spotted very clearly ISIS weapons fired repeatedly from one location just a few miles from the town. Defending the town, maybe a few thousand ill-equipped Kurdish fighters and their supporters. CENTCOM says they have launched airstrikes against ISIS inside Syria in the past 24 hours, but they told us none of those were near Kobani. The lack of more strikes has people upset here, as does the fact that Turkey, despite having a big presence of military and the ethnic Kurds. Again, the fall of Kobani to the ISIS terrorists could have big strategic and symbolic importance. Our military expert on the ground here says that could be happening in the next 48 hours. Once again, to quote that Kobani official, where is the world? Harris.
Wow. Greg Palcott, thank you very much. A special tribute today in our nation's capital for our wounded warriors. President Obama marking the opening of the American Veterans Disabled for Life Memorial, which honors wounded vets, both living and deceased, from every conflict in our nation's history. Speaking at the